Hi everyone. I'm also very proud of you for joining a newly diagnosed webinar series. It can be very overwhelming to be diagnosed with MS, and I know too well what that was like. So I'm here to share my story with you. And in my personal journey, I was 44 when I was diagnosed just over 12 years ago, January 2013. And what led me to my diagnosis was skin sensitivity and dizziness. I lost my taste and I was very unbalanced. I went to work one day and one of my colleagues said to me at 10 o'clock in the morning, have you been drinking? Like I could not walk straight. So that led me to go to the doctor, and at that time I had my daughters were 5 and 15, so I had a young family, and my diagnosis, my GP did some tests with me. I'm sure you all know them very well, all the things we have to do, the neurological testing. And she admitted me to hospital. I think I saw her on a Wednesday, admitted on the Wednesday, and on the Friday I had an MRI, which led to my diagnosis. I didn't know anything about MS. Um, my mum researched actually, and came up with the OMS lifestyle. Um, and at the time when I was diagnosed, there was no medication available like there is today, other than the injectables, which I wasn't having a bar of. I didn't want to do that at all. So I had to find a way to help myself that didn't include medication. So I had symptoms that came and went over the following 2.5 years. I learnt very quickly that stress uh, exacerbated my symptoms, and I experienced numbness, vision issues, burning wrists, and heavy legs. It was just to name a few. And I actually again, my mum researched and found the Overcoming Multiple Sclerosis retreat in Yarra Valley in Melbourne, and the two of us went to the retreat, and it was an amazing time, and it gave me hope. It was run by George Jelinek, who also has MS. They had an organic garden. We ate vegan with fish, pretty much meditated. There was 23 of us or 23 of us with MS, and quite a few people took a support person, which was really lovely. We had a lot of laughter, a lot of tears. Um, I met people with different stages of MS, which was a little scary, obviously. Most people were from around Australia. One other lady from New Zealand who I am still friends with today. So I followed the OMS lifestyle for 3.5 years, and I was very strict. I didn't even have a piece of chocolate. I made healthy choices with diet, exercise, being mindful, etc., vitamin D, all those sorts of things. And I was really, really strict on myself, which was quite difficult because I did have a family to feed and they would not eat the food I was cooking. So 3.5 years later, at the end of 2016, I had a second MRI, and I had complete healing of my spinal lesions, a reduction in my brain lesions, no new activity, and I strongly believe the lifestyle I was leading helped my body heal. In fact, I remember my neurologist saying to me, "You need to frame this report. It's so, so good." But despite the positive MRI, I lost motivation and a severe relapse followed. All the funded medications I had tried without any success at all. I had really bad reactions to all of them, until, I mean, my relapse lasted around 8 to 10 weeks, and I would get something happen, like, I'd lose my taste. and that had happened for a little while, and then I'd recover from that, wake up, it's like, oh, cool, it's gone, and then something else would happen, and that went on and on for like 8 to 10 weeks. I couldn't drive, I couldn't cook a meal, I couldn't walk straight, all sorts of things. It was really terrible. So in 2016, I knew ocrelizumab, or Ocrevus as we know it now, was being funded. So I actually was one of the first people that, or one of the first people that actually was took the medication, and my MS has been stable ever since. I have had no new symptoms. I have no active lesions, and I also still make healthy choices where possible. I kind of use the 80-20 rule. So, I'm not symptom free. I have symptoms, but I've kind of learned to live with them. I do forget everything. I have multiple to-do lists. I interrupt people all the time because I think I need to say something, and if I don't say it now, I'll forget it by the time they finish talking. I think some of my friends have got very used to that. I do have burning and numbness, and it gets more noticeable when I'm tired or feeling stressed. Like my wrist burns, or my left hand is numb. It's just part of what I've learned to live with. I do have fatigue. It was interesting listening to Stephanie. I do have a heat sensitivity majorly, but that's not even when I'm exercising. It's all the time. So yeah, and the other interesting thing I think about being an Ocrevus, and something I get asked quite a lot, is worrying about your immune system when you have Ocro, an infusion. I have never been sick in the 6 years I've been on Ocrevus. I haven't been sick. My daughters have had like the flu, and my youngest has slept in the same bed as me. I just didn't catch it. So that's me and my journey. It's not the same for everybody. I understand that, but yeah, I just haven't been sick, which is kind of interesting. I have learned a lot of lessons. Find your people. It's really, really important to find the people in your life that keep you positive and help you and do what they can to understand what you may be going through. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you've got housework to do, or a task to do, or something, and you just don't have the energy to do it, don't do it. If it can wait till tomorrow, do it tomorrow. The washing can be folded tomorrow. It doesn't have to be done today. And don't worry about this. One of the very first lessons I did learn is I tried to reduce my stress by just not worrying about all the stuff I used to worry about. Take a day at a time and rest when you need to. Again, Stephanie mentioned that. I was very well known to rest mid-afternoon. My daughters knew that they'd find me lying on my bed resting, because I needed to build some energy for the evening to cook dinner or whatever. So yeah, take one day at a time. Ask for help when you need it. It's really important to do that, and it's very difficult for some of us to do that, but I do that. And also, you are the most important person in your life, so find your happy. Like, have me time, do things that make you smile. I know I tend to go for walks and things and notice things I may not have noticed before. Just being mindful about, the birds and things. It's very cool. One of the other things that's really important is be the captain of your own ship. Take control, ask questions. You are unique. Your MS journey is yours. No one else is going to have the same experiences you're having. I have met a lot of people with MS, and I do go to coffee groups. I really enjoy doing that. I just feel like the people there, we kind of all get each other. And it's kind of like my new family. So it's been very, very good for me. I decided to challenge myself. So going along the lines of the exercise, I do go to the gym quite regularly, and I decided beginning of last year to go on an Outward Bound course, which I did do. So I booked it in February 2024 and went in November. So I had some good amount of time to prepare. And I just decided I wanted to physically challenge myself to see what I was capable of doing. The course I did was a low impact 8-day course, which was amazing because it wasn't like the 3-week Outward Bound, you know, what the young people do to find themselves and stuff. We did meet a lot of people there like that, but this one was very specific, and everybody there that I met had some things going on, all different things. No one else had MS, but we all were aware of each other's. We all sort of shared what things we were going through, so we all looked out for each other. It was a very, very awesome experience. My family said when I came home I was absolutely buzzing, and it was by far the most amazing experience of my life so far. Like a consecutive 8 days. You know, I had the only thing I knew before I went was my flight number and what time I had to get on the plane and where I had to meet at the other end. I knew nothing else. So I don't want to spoil the Outward Bound experience for anyone that might decide to do it by sharing my whole experience with you. It's very much tailored. They very much tailored to the audience. So the guides kind of met us and got to know us and chose some activities that they knew we could manage, but we would also find challenging. The photo that you're seeing right now is the top of a hike we did, and it was so beautiful. So we actually hiked. You can probably see the buildings right down the bottom. I think it was about 350, 400 meters or something like that, and it was incredible. So I've got a few photos and a few little stories to tell you. Very first day, so like I said, I didn't know who was going to go. I didn't know there was 12 of us, by the way. That was the group of 12. I think they take up to 14 per what they call watch. And what they did is they met us in Picton and they put us on a cutter and we had to sail. We sort of, I guess we all introduced each other and ourselves, and we thought we were going to the base camp at Anakiwa, but no, they put us on a cutter and we had to learn how to sail, which most of us, in fact, I think 11 out of 12 didn't know how to do. So we did that and we went to an island, and there's my luxury accommodation you can see. That was a fly that we put up. We put two of them up. We had 6 mattresses in each one, 6 sleeping bags, and we slept the night next to a complete stranger, mixed male and female. That was kind of interesting. We had to cook our own meals, or meal that night, and we did sail the next day as well to Anakiwa, to the base camp, which was just the best. It was just amazing. So this photo here was some kayaking we did do a couple of days later on the Pelorus River. I loved it. I felt that the physical exercise and strength training I had done at the gym really helped me manage the kayak because I hadn't done hardly any kayaking in my life. I loved it. It was so much fun. Some people really found it quite challenging, but it was just so beautiful back out in nature. Not sure if I said it already, but we did have to hand in our phones. Like there was no technology with Outward Bound. There were no books. There was no radios, TV, no music. It was all about just connecting with the people we were there with, and it was absolutely awesome. So also the other thing about Outward Bound is you don't know what you're going to be doing at all. So when we went kayaking, one of the guides came in and said, okay, guys, pack up for an overnight stay. You need this sort of gear. And then we went outside and there was, you know, the van with all the kayaks on the back. So we knew we were going kayaking. And we did go and stay somewhere else. So we didn't always spend every night at the base camp. So yeah, and we just didn't know, like they never told us from one day to the next what we were doing. So one of them was an overnight stay, which my mum to this day is horrified I did. So the only day it rained when we were there was this day, unfortunately. So we had to put packs on our backs, carry 4 litres of water each, a bag of rations, and all the gear you can see we had to carry ourselves into the bush in the rain. So we all had wet weather gear on as well. So yes, I put that fly up myself. There was individualised campsites. We hiked about 3Ks that day. It gave us a lot of reflection time because we were on our own. We couldn't see anyone else. We couldn't hear anybody else. We couldn't talk to anybody. And we were given some little tasks to do, and it was incredible. I didn't know the time, didn't have clocks, or so yeah, we did get checked on, and I believe I think people came and checked on us probably when we were asleep. I know it was very cold that day, and I ended up been quite proud of myself that I managed to set some shelter up that I wasn't going to get wet. And I pulled all my wet weather gear off because it stopped raining after I put everything up, and took all my wet weather gear off and jumped into my sleeping bag because it was so cold. Yeah, so that was a very, very cool experience. On the last day, we took the cutter into Anakiwa, but we walked out. So we all paddled the waka out to meet the little launch that took us into Picton, and that was incredible. That was all about teamwork as well. Very sad to say goodbye to who I now consider my new family. We we stay in touch, and we have met since a few times. Most people there were from the North Island, so we make sure we let everybody know when we're travelling, and we do meet up when we can. And some people drive to meet up with us, or we drive to meet up with them. So it was very sad to say goodbye, but it's really neat because we do still keep in touch. So yeah, so my next adventure is Oceans of Hope. I want to keep physically challenging myself. I have been accepted to go, and I was due to go this November, but it's been postponed to next year. So it's an opportunity. If you don't know what it is, you can look it up online. It's an opportunity to sail for 5 days on Line New Zealand or a similar yacht. You need to have MS to apply and be accepted as well, because there's a little bit of criteria you need to meet. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, hopefully next year. For me, MS is made strong. That's what it stands for me. I'm determined. I have a lot of fun and laughter in my life. I live a lot healthier lifestyle, and I'm involved with the MS community. I do peer support. I love talking to people that are newly diagnosed, just to help give them some reassurance that there is something past your initial diagnosis that you can, look forward to, and make your new life what you need. It's up to you. This is what led me on to feeling like this is what led me to realize I could do something like Outward Bound, because it was never on my radar before. And yeah, I reduce my stress as much as possible, and I live each day, and it's up to you. Thank you for listening.